The call of family. Excuse me? I'm here to find Trissa Keita. The voice pulled Isla Perez from her thoughts, where she had been buried in her history textbook, frustrated at the endless conflicts throughout history. She looked up to see a middle-aged man with an anxious expression. That depends, Isla said, her brow furrowing. Who are you and what do you want with Triss? The man shifted nervously. I'm her uncle. Her father needs to speak with her. Isla frowned as her mind raced back to a conversation she had with Triss just a few days prior. I'm going to visit my parents this weekend. Trissa had looked up from her book, a remote smile on her face. Oh.
Isla nodded.
It's my brother's birthday. Triss had returned the smile, albeit faintly. Give him my regards. What about you? Any plans? Isla asked, pushing for conversation. Nah, Triss had replied, shaking her head. I won't interrupt your family gathering. Isla propped her chin on her hand. Will you visit your family? Triss had stiffened.
No.
They're not interested, even if they pretend otherwise. Isla had moved to sit beside Triss on the couch. Their loss. Isla returned to the present, eyeing the man who was still waiting, his discomfort palpable. I'll call Triss and see if she'll meet you, Isla said, but the man cut her off.
No.
I need to meet her now. His sudden urgency made Isla take a step back. I'm really sorry, but I can't just let her meet someone I don't know. I'm not a stranger, he insisted. I'm her uncle. Still, if she agrees to this, I'll meet you here at 4 p.m. tomorrow. The man huffed but eventually relented.
Fine.
I'll see you then, miss.
Isla.
I'll see you tomorrow. Triss. I'm back from the library, Isla announced as she entered their shared dorm room. Triss appeared in the kitchen, flour dusting her dark skin as she aimed to bake a pastry. Hey bookworm, Triss said, her brown eyes twinkling. How was the library? Fine, but something strange happened. A man claimed to be your uncle and said your father wanted to talk to you. With an alarming crash, the mixing bowl Triss was holding fell to the floor. What? Triss meret. Whoa! Isla cried, rushing to Triss and pulling her close. I didn't tell him where you were. You know I wouldn't let that happen. I said we'd only meet if you wanted to.
Triss inhaled sharply.
I don't know. I want to fix things with them, but I'm scared they won't accept who I am. But I still want to try. Isla nodded, rubbing soothing circles on Triss's back. Okay. We'll meet him tomorrow if that's what you want. Triss leaned into Isla's warmth, her voice barely above a whisper. Thank you. Of course, Isla replied, pressing a kiss to Triss's forehead. Always. The next day, Triss found herself outside Isla's gymnastics practice, her dog, Waffles, trotting beside her. She had time to kill, so wandered her thoughts, rehearsing the conversation that loomed ahead. Why do I have to do this? Triss murmured to Waffles, not expecting any response. Do you think Isla would want a treat when she's done? She asked the dog, who barked in reply, tail wagging in enthusiasm. Yeah, maybe some scones from that new bakery, Triss decided, feeling her mood lighten slightly. Let's go, Waffles. We need to make it quick. Isla emerged from the gymnastics studio, greeted by Triss and Waffles at a nearby table, half muffin in hand. Hey bookworm. Triss greeted her, lifting a paper bag. I got you a scone. Thanks, Butterfly. How long have you been here? Not long. 10 minutes, maybe. Triss replied, her smile visibly strained. Isla raised her eyebrows playfully. Ready to face the family? As ready as I'll ever be, Triss confirmed, her voice steadier than she felt. At the designated meeting spot, Triss found herself twirling a ring around her finger as the minutes stretched on. He should be here by now, she whispered, nerves on edge. It's only a couple of minutes past 4. Relax. How about reading something? Isla suggested gently. Trish shook her head. Anxiety too high to concentrate. What's that you're reading? She asked, forcing herself to change gears. Isla held up the cover. These Violent Delights. It's a retelling of Romeo and Juliet, but set in Shanghai with gangsters and monsters. Sounds interesting, Triss said, earning a faint smile from Isla. Hey, it'll be fine, Isla reassured as she took Triss's hand. Just breathe. Triss nodded, trying to steady herself. Just then, she spotted her uncle approaching. Trissa, he called out, and a wave of tension washed over her.
Uncle Johan, Tris greeted stiffly.
Your father would like to see you again, he stated, looking too eager. Triss' heart sank. Would he now? She replied, voice low but determined. Her uncle sighed. Yes, come along. They're waiting. Isla stepped forward, resilience ignited. I'm Isla, Triss's girlfriend. We're not going anywhere without her consent. John frowned, annoyance flaring. Nice to meet you, kid, but my niece and I have to go. This is family business. Isla's expression hardened. It seems Triss is no longer interested in family business, so I think we're done here.
Tris inhaled deeply, stilling herself.
You didn't care when I was a child. Why would things change now? John looked caught off guard, and Isla murmured encouragement as Triss spoke her truth. I thought it might be different, but it's clear you have no interest in knowing me for who I am. Please leave. Stunned silence enveloped them. Then Isla took Triss by the hand. Come on, let's grab some pizza on the way home. Triss nodded, a newfound strength within her. Yeah, I need some pizza. Good. And I believe I can convince you to try pineapple on it too. Isla teased with a wink. Not happening. Triss laughed, heart still racing but lighter than before. As they walked hand in hand, each step felt more like liberation. As they made their way toward the pizza place, the glow of the setting sun poured golden light onto the sidewalk, almost illuminating the sense of relief that began to fill Triss. She leaned slightly into Isla, feeling grateful for her unwavering support. Do you think I handled that well? Triss asked, her mind still replaying the confrontation. Isla nodded, her curls bouncing as she did. You were amazing. Seriously, standing up to him like that? It takes guts. Yeah, but... Triss hesitated. What if they really do want to change and I push them away? Isla gently squeezed Triss' hand. You have every right to protect your heart. If they didn't care when it counted, why should you let them in now? It doesn't mean you can't be open to change later. If you want to. Triss sighed, gratitude tangled with uncertainty. I don't know if I'm ready for all that. Well, you don't have to be. Let's focus on our pizza first. Isla suggested with a wink, brightening the mood. They reached the pizza shop, its neon open sign buzzing softly in the twilight. The smell of baked dough and melting cheese wafted through the door, inviting and comforting. Anything in particular you want? Isla asked, scanning the menu. Honestly, I could go for the works. Let's celebrate tonight, no drama, just us. Triss decided, a smile breaking through. Works for me. And pineapple for good measure.
Isla teased, feigning innocence.
Triss laughed. Okay. I'll allow one slice of pineapple. Isla grinned as they placed their order. Then they found a small table by the window where they could watch the world go by outside. As they waited, the conversation gradually shifted to lighter topics, school, favorite books, and their plans for the weekend. Waffles lounged at their feet, a contented sigh escaping as he settled down, basking in his owner's company. When the pizza arrived, steaming and looking delicious, Isla took the first slice, dramatically holding it up like an award. To us, she exclaimed, raising her slice. For standing up for what we believe in. To us. Triss echoed, lifting her pizza slice happily, a warmth unfurling in her chest. They clinked their pizza together, sharing laughter and bites in comfortable silence. The world outside continued to whirl, but they were in their little bubble, and for that moment, everything felt perfect. After they finished their pizza, they decided to take a stroll through the nearby park. The evening was mild, the air sweet with the scent of flowers and fresh grass. They found a bench, and as they settled in, Isla leaned in close, tilting her head against Triss' shoulder. Do you ever wish things were different with your family? Isla asked gently, breaking the comfortable silence. Triss pondered her question, staring into the twilight sky. Sometimes. I think about what it would have been like if they had accepted me from the beginning. But I also know that I'm not the same person I was then. I've grown up, and I've found people who truly love and support me. Like you. Isla blushed but grinned. I always will. You deserve that. More than anyone I know. Triss' heart swelled as she looked at Isla, feeling a profound sense of gratitude for their connection. Do you think I made the right choice today? Absolutely. You put your well-being first, and that's so important. Maybe one day you'll feel comfortable enough to reach out again, but for now, it's okay to prioritize yourself. None of this makes you a bad person, Isla reassured, her voice firm yet gentle. I hope so. I don't want to close any doors forever. I want to keep the option open, maybe one day.
Isla nodded, pulling Tris closer.
That's the beauty of life, right? You can change your mind. And I'll be by your side for whatever happens next. They sat there, the stars beginning to peek through the dusky sky, a comforting silence enveloping them. Thank you for being my anchor, Tris whispered, feeling a sense of peace she hadn't had before. Always, Isla assured, and it felt like a promise. As they walked back to their dorm, Tris felt lighter than she had in ages. She couldn't erase her past or the complexities of her family, but she could choose how to handle it, and she had Isla by her side. When they returned to their cozy room, the familiar chaos of textbooks and scattered papers welcomed them back. Tris sighed, a smile still plastered on her face as she flopped onto her bed. Do you think we could have a movie night? She asked, propping herself up on her elbows. Only if I get to pick the movie, Isla countered, her tone playful. What do you have in mind? A rom-com or maybe horror? Tris teased, already knowing Isla's penchant for the former.
Surprise, surprise rom-com.
But one with a surprisingly emotional twist. I mean, who doesn't love a good cry?
Isla chuckled.
Sounds perfect, Tris said, her heart swelling with warmth. Life was complicated, but with Isla it felt manageable. Everything felt possible. As Isla dug around for her laptop to cue up their chosen film, Tris felt a sense of hope bloom inside her. Whatever the future held, familial complexities or the whims of romance, she was ready to face it all. And all the while, she knew she'd never have to do it alone. As Isla clicked through their favorite streaming platform, Tris nestled deeper into her blankets, a sense of comfort cocooning her. The soft glow of the laptop screen illuminated the room as Isla settled beside her, the pillows propping them up like a fluffy fort. Ready for your emotional roller coaster? Isla asked, a mischievous glint in her eye as she scrolled through the options. Only if you keep the tissues handy, Tris replied with a smirk, her heart feeling lighter every moment. They settled on a film that was both comedic and heartfelt, the kind that made you laugh until you cried. As the story unfolded, filled with romance, misunderstandings, and eventually heartfelt reconciliation, Tris couldn't help but feel a sense of reverberation with her own life. The characters face family issues, love, and self-discovery, much like Tris herself had done that very day. When the movie reached a particularly touching scene, Tris felt tears prick her eyes. Isla, looking over, immediately noticed and reached for a tissue, passing it to Tris with a knowing smile. See? I told you it would get emotional. Isla teased gently, her green eyes sparkling with affection. I can't help it. It's just so relatable, Tris said, dabbing at her eyes. Sometimes I feel like I'm just trying to find my place in this world, without a map. Isla wrapped her arm around Tris, pulling her close. You're carving your own path, Tris. It doesn't matter if it looks different from anyone else's. It's yours. Feeling the warmth of Isla's body against her, Tris relaxed. The movie continued to play, but she found her thoughts drifting. She realized how far she had come since that initial confrontation with her uncle. For the first time in a long time, she felt empowered, a sensation she had often doubted she deserved. Hey Isla, she said during a lull in the movie, her voice soft. Yeah, I think I'm ready to set some boundaries with my family, even if it means making tough choices. Today was hard, but it was also kind of liberating. Isla beamed at her, a light of pride in her expression. That's incredible. Taking that stand is a huge step. Tris smiled, the warmth spreading through her chest. I want to take control of my narrative. And no matter how it turns out with my family, I have you. That makes all the difference. Their eyes locked, and Tris felt an electric connection pass between them. They settled deeper into the moment, their laughter from the film fading into a shared understanding. Do you think you'll reach out one day, maybe? Isla asked softly, genuinely curious. Tris pondered for a moment, gazing at the flickering images on the screen. I think I might, but only when I feel ready. They'll have to accept me for who I am, or they won't get another chance. Isla nodded, pushing a stray hair behind Tris' ear gently. And when you do, I'll be right there beside you. No matter what. As the film wrapped up, with the characters finding their way back to each other and patched connections, Tris felt a wave of contentment wash over her. She wasn't sure what the future held, whether her parents would change or how she'd navigate those complex relationships, but she knew that she held the power to decide how it affected her. Finally, the credits rolled and Isla closed the laptop, glancing over to Tris with a bright smile. That was intense. Movie marathons with you are my favorite. Tris giggled, feeling lighter than she had in ages. Next time we'll watch something less emotional.
Prepare foracheias e roncam.
Deal. Isla grinned, then added with a smirk. And I'll bring the pineapple pizza just to mess with you. Oh no, you don't. Tris laughed, playfully swatting at Isla. They collapsed into another fit of laughter, and in that moment, surrounded by the remnants of pizza boxes and echoes of shared fears and joys, Tris felt a warmth akin to home. Hey, you know what? Isla said, a gleam in her eye. What? No matter what happens with your family, always remember this. You are strong, you are enough, and nobody gets to decide your worth but you. Tris smiled, feeling a swell of gratitude for Isla's unwavering support. Thank you. For everything. You're my anchor. And you are mine, Isla replied softly. With a newfound courage bubbling inside her and the promise of tomorrow on the horizon, Tris lay back on her bed, her heart full. Together they had forged a path of resilience, laughter, and love, ready to face the world, whatever it may bring. The darkness outside deepened, but within their room, light flickered and danced, filling the space with warmth and hope. And as Tris drifted off to sleep that night, wrapped in the comfort of her girlfriend's presence, she knew she'd be all right. Tomorrow was a new day, and for the first time in a long while, she felt ready to embrace it.